So, this is my 5th lockdown project, 2-string cigar box bass. I've seen these being built on various YouTube channels, so I thought I'd give it a go myself. But those channels always make builds look easy and have that anyone can do it feeling about them. And I'm guilty of this too in previous videos. And this build especially was full of challenges, and I'm not a luthier, as you will see in the next few minutes. So, with that in mind, here we go. I bought the neck and the box off of eBay, and my original idea was to use an old 7-inch single as a pickguard, but I should have bought a short scale neck really, and so I had to rethink the whole design to get the correct scale length. With this in mind, I decided to make a centre block that could extend out of the end of the box to get the length required. This would also give me something solid to attach the neck and the bridge to. I then cut out the neck pocket shape from the lid and marked where the pickup cavity would be. And after lots and lots of measuring to ensure that everything lined up, I proceeded to drill out the neck, ready to attach. And then this happened. So, the incredibly unfortunate situation this morning was I measured the bridge and got it all lined up with the neck. I mean, it was absolutely spot on. And I put a screw in the bridge, hold it in place, and then I put a blob of glue just on the back of the neck and let it go off overnight. Not strong enough to hold it, but just so it would hold it in place. So this morning I could screw the neck plate in. When I got to screwing the neck in, I noticed there was a very slight camber on the wood. I don't know if you can see it, and so I had to try and sand it flat so the neck would sit flat. It almost sits flat. It's pretty damn close. So I was kind of pleased until I put the bridge back on, only to find the neck is about 1 millimetre, and I mean like 1 millimetre off. But by the time it gets to the other end of the neck, 1 millimetre is like 3 millimetres. As you can see, that gap and that gap are quite different. So I've had to fill all the holes with matchsticks, PVA them in, and now I've got to move the bridge by about 2 mil so it lines up with the neck. But what that means is the bridge is now not going to be in the middle of this bit of wood at the back, and that really annoys me, because I spent so much time measuring. I probably spent 2 hours measuring, and it's like 1 millimetre off. Because there was no neck pocket, i.e. the neck is just screwed directly to the plank, it was able to move very slightly, and it literally must have moved about 1 mil. But as explained, 1 mil here is 3 mil by the time it gets to the end. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. This is why I buy prefabbed kits. But anyway, in other news, this bit slots over, and I put a dot in the middle and a dot in the middle of the thing, and guess what, they're like 2 mil off. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it, they're like a couple of mil off. So I made these things to cover up the neck pocket, which now is also a couple of mil off. So here we are again. I think the best thing you can do when you're building cigar box guitars is have a mate who's a luthier professionally and give him a call or text him, and he'll come up with a wonderful idea, like swapping the neck plate for these washer things. And then what that means is everything shifted enough to line up straight, and if I just pop this into place on the center line, my little dot there, then the strings go over the pickup poles perfectly. The bridge isn't quite central, you can see it's about 1 millimeter off, but I can live with that. I can just about live with that. And the neck cavity, my little cheeky covers, which I'll glue into place eventually, will go on here, and that will be alright, I think. Right then, the continuing saga of the cigar box guitar. So this morning I cut the slots for the centre block to slide through, and hopefully the top of the guitar will land in these little grooves, slide all the way to the back. Also cut a couple of little notches so that the neck ferrules will pass through, and hopefully my measuring's alright, because I'm going to try and line this up live on camera. So here's the rest of it, which I glued, and I shielded out the insides, which I'll continue in the box when I know this fits. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see if we can make this. Oh, that felt good. Go on. Go on. Yes. Yes. Amazing. So that drops in. That's not bad at all. Oh, actually, this end looks rubbish. So I'm going to need to make something to cover this, because it just looks like a bit of a mess. Maybe a plate or something. Mind you, that's a little bit proud as well. I don't know if you can see that. So I might need to sand that, or maybe take the neck off and I don't know, saw an inch off of it. Okay, that's the next problem. The bridge has got to come off anyway, because I need to, now I know it fits, I need to take the bridge off, drill through and put a bridge earth in to go to one of these pots. Yeah, and the pickup. Yeah, pickup's still alright. So it's going to kind of sort of look like this, and then my cheeky little get out of jail free cover the dodgy cutting of the neck pocket, give it some wings. So yeah, still a lot to do, but I would say that is a successful Sunday morning. So everything's together, and I thought I'd stain the box to maybe hide some of the imperfections and the matchsticks and the scratches. So I did, but unfortunately it's just highlighted them all. So you can see all the scuff marks and all the bad joins and all the bad workmanship, because the stain has run into some places and not into other places. So now I've got this body that looks like it came out of a skip versus a machined, pristine, glossy neck that I bought online. So my question is, do I sand all this off and try and finish it nicer, or do I hit this with sandpaper and muck and make it look rubbish? I don't know what to do. Okay, got the old Batman pants on again, just for good measure. So, little update. I have wired up the base this morning, which wasn't easy because I couldn't slide this all the way out to get the pots in, because it won't come all the way out the end with these in the way. So I had to pull enough wire through to try and solder it in situ and then feed the pots underneath to get the nuts on. But it seems to be all up and running. I might need to get a new jack socket, because I think this came out of something a while ago. I think this came out of my SG actually, because it was dodgy, but I put it in this morning just because I wanted to hear it working. But I think there's a bit of crackle on it. I don't think it's the lead, but the good news is there's no earth buzzing off the bridge or anything like that. Volume pot seems pretty smooth, and bass is alive. Yep. So seems to be working. Volume pot seems to be doing what the volume pot should be doing. It's a bit neck heavy, so I guess it's one of those ones you'll have to play, because there's nothing in that but air. I have to play with my arm on it. I'm still not completely happy with the finish. I don't know, I wanted a glossy finish really, but yeah, we'll see. But the next thing to do is to cut a new nut for it, because obviously that's a 4-string nut, and I need a 2-string one, so there'll be slightly bigger spacing. Never done that before. Should be interesting. I've got a set of nut files, and yeah, we'll see if I can not make a hash of that. But the good news is bass works. So this build wasn't easy. I had lots of unforeseen problems, partly down to my own inexperience and lack of luthier skills, but also down to not having a workshop with lots of machines and power tools like a lot of the YouTube guitar builders do, who tell you can build things from scratch with a credit card and some sandpaper. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy watching those guys too, but it's just not true. Building guitars to a good standard in a spare room with just hand tools and a ruler is extremely difficult. Be ready to fail over and over again if you give this a go until you get it right. It takes practice, patience and perseverance. I'm fairly pleased with this build, and I've learnt a lot along the way, and hopefully it means my next project will be better again.